Alright then guys, so I'm back in the workshop bringing you another no-nonsense unboxing video of two products kindly sent to me for the purposes of review by a company called Vevor. They're based in the US, but they have stock situated in many other countries, including the UK, which means you don't have to wait weeks for postage and you can receive your items in just a matter of days. Right, so the first item I'm going to be taking a look at is a 20 metre or 65 foot retractable airline, which is wall mountable. So in the box itself, you get the casing, which houses the airline itself. Also has the shorter bit, which plugs into your air compressor that comes out the side. You get a real simple instruction book. It's just basically an A4 piece of paper. You get the wall mounted bracket, which is also made of polypropylene plastic by the looks of it, and you get some pretty heavy duty wall bolts and raw plugs for attaching it to a wall. So the wall mount is really easy to fit to the main airline itself. You've got a bit on the back, just lift that out, put this in place, feed that back through, and it's as simple as that. And that allows you to pivot the main unit itself through 180 degrees. So the outer casing is made of polypropylene, which is an extremely durable, hard wearing plastic. In fact, it's the same material that my floor tiles are made of in the workshop, and I've had these down for about a year now and they've held up really well. So it's weather resistant, although I'm not going to be using it outside. Obviously, it's going to be based in the workshop. It's corrosion resistant and it's heat resistant. Right, so on the side of the unit, you have a short length of air hose. This is 2 meters or 6.56 feet long, and this is the bit that fits to your compressor. And then the main airline itself is 20 meters or 65.62 feet long. So another good feature, when you pull it out, around about every meter, the hose will automatically lock in place, so you can let go of it and it won't retract. And there's 3 separate locations at every meter where it will automatically lock itself in position. So if I pull it out another meter, there you go, and it's locked in place again and I can let go of it. And then, without wrecking my camera in the process, if you want to retract it, just give it a sharp, firm tug and it automatically will retract the airline back into the closed position. Another feature I really like, when you're retracting the airline back into the casing, there's a little mechanism inside that actually moves the airline left and right, and that stops it from winding in unevenly or getting jammed up within the casing. So I'm going to retract it and hopefully you'll see this little bit moving side to side. Bearing in mind, I'm not going to let go of the hose as I retract it because it'll probably take the tripod and camera out. So I'm going to be slowing the retraction rate down a little bit, but hopefully you'll be able to see the mechanism inside working. Really good idea, that. I like it. So the hose itself is made of PVC with a double layer of gauze to make it extremely durable and hard wearing. The ends are the standard European couplings, so this end would obviously be connected to whatever tool you're using. whether that be blowgun, nail gun, or anything else that's operated by air. And on the shorter end that goes into your compressor, that just pops in. So this is obviously the short end that comes out the side of the retractable airline, and it just slots into your current fitting as easy as that. So you've got everything ready to go. Let's give you another angle of the hose being retracted. Oh. So as you can see, it does work quite well. Alright guys, so that's the first item down, and I've got to say it's definitely going to make working with a compressor in the future a lot easier. I've currently got the same type of airline on my current compressor, but it's loose, so I have to unravel it and ravel it up when I finish using it, which tends to be a little bit of a nightmare because it's quite thick and it's hard to kind of reel up. So having the retractable one is definitely going to make my life easier. So the next item I'm going to be taking a look at is another mitre gauge for the table saw or whatever else you want to use it on. So I've taken it out the outer box, and as you can see it comes really well packaged. So let's get it out of the packaging and I'll show you what comes in the set. So to start with, you get the usual instructions. Now again, it's on a A4 piece of paper, so very basic, but tells you everything you need to know. So the first thing out is obviously your fence, and this is the 24-inch fence. You can see it's got all your markings on it along both sides. Bag of like bolts and little spanner, Allen keys, screws, etc. That's obviously your flip stop. Vevor, all made out of chunky aluminum, which is really well machined. Screwdriver bit. And then you get the runner itself. Looks really nice quality. So let's put it together. Don't think there's anything else in the packaging. Oh, there is something else. I think that's it. So just as a side note, before I put it together, I was looking for the actual handle that you grip onto to move the mitre gauge in the slot. Couldn't find it in the packet, but you see there's a little label down there that says blue parts. So at first I thought it was missing, but then if you kind of peel the packaging apart, right down at the bottom, there's the handle or knob, whatever you want to call it. So just check. So setup is quite easily. So I'll lie all the bits out. So hopefully you can see all of these bits. First of all, you want to get this bit and this bit. And you'll see there's a slight rebate along one edge. And then you've got holes on the bottom of that piece. So obviously that just sits in that rebate, and then you take the shorter 3 bolts and they go through from the bottom. That's the first bit. Next step, take this piece. It probably won't focus properly, but there's a 0 with a hole. Get your little brass knob, put that through the 0, and you're going to tighten that up into the lowest hole on the runner. And that locks this piece in place. Then you're going to need the longer bolt. There's only one of these, and the handle. That is going to go through this bit from underneath. So just wind that all the way through. And then the handle or the knob is going to wind on top of that one. And it is fairly tight, so you're going to have to use the Allen key to hold the bolt underneath from spinning, and then you can just nip that up. Like so. Next you've got this little bit with an Allen bolt head on one end, and then you've got a nut, and it's got a very small collar. So take the nut off, and that is going to go through the hole in the center from underneath. So just push it through, put your nylon washer on, and then use the supplied spanner or whatever spanner you want just to tighten that up. But you'll probably need the Allen key to secure it from underneath. So hold it with the Allen key underneath, and then this spanner does kind of work. Like I said, it's not the flipping greatest, but I'm going to persevere with this one because I don't know my smaller sockets are. Right, so that's done. Just don't forget the nylon washer on that bit. So to fit the fence, you've got a plastic end cap that just pulls off the end. So take that off. And then what you've got is 2 of these little things. So obviously they go through the gauge itself, and the back bits go into the T-track in the back of the fence. So you put the bolt and the washer through the slots in there, and then you need to wind this little bit back on, and that's what's going to slot into T-track. Just don't do them up so they're tight, just put them on there and leave them loose. And then what you've got to do is take your fence. I'll try and spin it round so you can see. That's going to go in this slot at the back. So what you need to do, I'll angle it around a little bit and zoom it in a bit. So you'll see that I've got the bits on the back. Literally just got to line those up with that slot and slide this across like so. And once you've slid that on, then what you can do, I'll turn it around so you can see the back side of it, is you just tighten these bits up, both sides. And obviously if you want to adjust where the fence is on the Mitre Guage itself, just loosen these and then you can basically slide this along. Don't forget to put your end cap back in place, and that just pushes on like so. In fact, don't put the end cap on just yet because I've still got to slide this on. So as you'll see, you've got a similar design that goes inside this track. So in order to get it on, take the end cap off. It just pulls out, and then make sure you got it around the right way, and then you feed that into the slot. No, that way. Into the slot, he says. Like so. And then you can turn the knob to tighten it up. And this bit on the gauge itself, which you use to line up with the markings or measurements, this is adjustable. Just loosen that off and you can move this left or right. Then once you've got the stop on, then you can put the plastic cover on the end again. So to get it to fit in the slot on your table saw, you've got all these screws along the bar, and they've got these little plastic washer things on. Now as you tighten them up, it squeezes the washer out and takes up any slack, but if you loosen it, the washer gets slightly smaller, so you have to adjust it for your slot. So I've not adjusted these yet, so I'm just going to try it in this slot. So when you've got it all together and you insert it into your slot, ignore the noise and the squeaking. I've not cleaned this top or cleaned any of the dust out. When you put it in, you've obviously got these little screws with the plastic washers. Now if I tighten these down, and then going to push it, it's actually really hard and won't move. So what you've got to do is just loosen these off a little bit at a time, and you want to get it so it slides fairly easy but with no side to side movement. And obviously if you loose them off, then it slides backwards and forwards, and there's not actually any side. This is rattling because this is loose, but there's no side to side movement on that, and then it will actually slide backwards and forwards. So at the moment I can't even move it, so just simply loosen this off a tad. Just do a little bit at a time until it moves, and you can keep fine tuning it until it slides really easy with no side to side movement. And if you want to change the angle, just loosen this off, which allows it to turn, remove the brass knob, and then you can basically move it to whichever angle you want it set at. So if I want it back at 0, put it back on 0, and then put the brass thing back on. Now if you haven't got it in the right place, the knob won't go in. So that is the 24-inch Mitre Guage from Vevor. Quite nicely machined. Alright then guys, so that is the 2 items that I was sent. If you want to check those out or any other products on the Vevor website, I'll leave links in the video description. If you click on either of the links for the products I've shown and purchase either of those, I will make a small amount of commission. But also, if you go through the links onto their website and purchase anything else, I'll also make a very small amount of commission, which all goes to help the channel moving forward. If you use the code GRUMPY, G-R-U-M-P-Y, all in capitals, you can get yourself 5% off your purchase, and the code can be used on as many items as possible until the 31st of the 3rd, 2023. So go and check it out. They've got some really good stuff on their website, including some nice looking diesel heaters, which I've actually been considering purchasing for the workshop in the winter because it is freezing in here right now, and I could certainly do with a decent heater. So hope you've enjoyed that one, guys. Like I said, I'll leave links in the video description. Go check it out. Use the code GRUMPY, G-R-U-M-P-Y, all in capitals, to get 5% off. So until the next video, stay safe, and you will see me in the next video. Cheers for watching, guys.